stoppage time played. A wreck of a throw-in.
Well, just tribute to the visitors here tonight who've been mighty, Simon. They don't get to play at home because of the situation in Iran. Their home games are played in Qatar. They get no home crowd support. They should be the ones nudging for playoff berth. This will be the fifth game if the clock runs out for Australia in this final stage of qualifying that they've lost by 1 goal. They've been right in every game. Net deep. This no exception.
Kept Australia really honest tonight. I'm sure will appreciate that. It's a full-time score if it stays like this. As it stands, they will play off for third place in a man shortly. Australia will finish second behind Japan. 60 seconds to go. Maybe just time for one Iraqi attack. Australia nearly there. This is Walid Saleh. Almost down on his feet on the heavy pitch. Oh, Schwarzer had to come and punch it. He did so with real aplomb. Got good distance on it. More nervy moments as the clock ticked towards the 93rd minute. Ali Barjat. Everybody behind the ball for Australia. Ahmed Ibrahim. Cristiano can't get there. Everybody bunched towards the Australian penalty area. It's just too tight and Volkanovski spoons it clear. And that might just be enough for the Socceroos. And the referee confirms it. Or does he? No. On we go, but only for a few seconds more. Australia have done it. It is 3 in a row for the Socceroos. They are the nation's darlings once again as they book their tickets for Brazil. It has been a long, hard road with plenty of stumbles along the way. But Australia will once again dine at the top table of world football a year from now. Holger Ossing smiles and hugs Tim Cahill. The angst of the last 18 months is forgotten. The debate on personnel on and off the park can wait for another day. Tonight is about qualification and celebration. Josh Kennedy's late goal was enough. Australia have done it. Brazil, here we come. Andy Harper, sum it up for us.
Well, we got there. I got much else to say. Peter Allen, the late Peter Allen's famous hit is echoing on the PA. Not only off to Rio, off to one of the world's great countries, the kings of football, 5 times champions of the world, hosting Japan, now Australia. Who knows who else? Iraq were mighty tonight. One has to feel for them. But the party is Australia's. They stumbled across the line. It was a brilliant goal at the end in execution, but those moments too few and far between for Australia. But they got the job done. The party will start, and I reckon in about 24 to 48 hours, hence the focus will narrow on Brazil.
Well, there we go. The bare statistic from tonight's game is this final scoreline. Australia 1, Iraq 0.
Well, they did it in 1974. They did it in 2006. There's Johnny Warren's brother Ross, of course, looking on. That's significant. The boys did it in 2010, and now for the 4th time, they will be at the World Cup in 2014. It was an epic, memorable struggle, not always going well for Australia. But what a happy man Johnny would be if he were here to see this. I told you so, and it's happened again. Australia in the World Cup. Lucas Neal, the happiest man perhaps in the stadium today. An 82nd minute goal coming from Josh Kennedy. A good substitution as it turned out from Holger Ossing. And Australia deservedly the winners of this match. John Aloisi.
Brilliant. What an atmosphere. What a goal by Josh. Cristiano, we've been singing his praises now, Foz, for the last month or two, that he's turned this campaign around, and to set up that goal for Josh with a great ball and then a great header. It was just, it was brilliant from Brett. And it's just what, he stands up big game.
He does. He's just magnificent. As I said before the game, I thought he was the turning point of the campaign, and it's fitting that Mark Bresciano puts his seal on the campaign by setting up the goal. He's done so many times. Of course, he scored numerous important goals as well, but Josh Kennedy, what a substitution. One thing about Holger Odzik, I'll tell you something, the last 3 games, didn't he stand up? He called the right team against Japan. He was right to then, and his substitutions in that game were also very good. Against Jordan, he once again stuck with that team. His substitution changed the game with Archie Thompson. And here again this evening, when it looked as though it could be a very frustrating night, it was always going to go down to the wire, he made a big, big call. One of the biggest calls we've seen from a Socceroo coach for a very long time. He took
Jimmy
on
Cahill.
the great Jimmy Cahill. He put on Josh Kennedy, and don't you know it, Josh has come up with the killer goal to put Australia through. What a fantastic decision. It takes guts, I'll tell you something. That takes courage, eh? And Holger Odzik showed courage tonight, and he's been rewarded by doing so. So, fabulous end result. It truly is party time now, and Australia's going to Rio. How good is that?
And this substitution, Rogic, was also a good one. It enlivened the game, didn't it, John?
Yeah, indeed.
It enlivened the Australians. There was a 10-minute spell after he came on when the Socceroos were awesome.
Well, that's right. Tommy started to get into good positions, and then Bresciano started to push higher. And if it wasn't Bresciano, it was Milligan. And they started to just get in those holes between the defensive midfielder. So he didn't know who to pick up. He had 2 players to pick up. And then they started to combine well. And that's where the goal came from. Bresh picked up the ball in a good area. He turned, he saw that Josh, before the game, God said, in between their central defender and their fullback, they're very weak. He got the ball in that position there, and it was a tremendous header. Headed it down onto this wet surface, and it skidded in.
Okay, let's talk to one of the stars, maybe the real star of the show, because he was the scorer. Let's go to David Grealish, who's talking with Josh Kennedy.
Josh, you got the winning goal, you're going to the World Cup. How do you feel?
That's amazing feeling. And I guess the boss is waiting to use it in the last game, so I think it was meant to be. And an amazing moment for me and for the boys. It's a great feeling.
When you were on the sidelines and you saw the guys were creating chances, couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, what were you thinking?
Obviously, it should be me there in the middle trying to knock them in, and it worked out exactly that way. So.
And talk us through the goal. Bresh looked like he was going to shoot, puts the ball in for you. What were you thinking at that moment when that cross was coming over?
No, I knew Bresh was going to chip a little one over the top, and he's done it many times. And it was a perfect ball, and I was in the right position, and the rest is history.
Thanks, mate. Hey, congratulations, all the best. We'll be back with the presentations shortly.
Thanks, David, and indeed, it's a happy moment. Let's analyse everything after this short break as we continue here in Stadium Australia.